Hey, it's Tuxedo Mark, and welcome to another episode of VLOGTRON, the Voltron vlog. And in this episode, we're looking at the episode of The Missing Key. It's episode 4. Okay, before I get into the episode itself, I want to discuss some things recently that I had just failed to mention from previous episodes. For one, the bad guy's planet is called Planet Doom, and his castle is called Castle Doom. It's like, really? That's the best name that you can come up with? Also, Allura's castle, there's a big chunk of it missing on one side. Like, toward the back, I think. It's like the bottom part's missing, and what's holding the top part up? It should collapse as well. But anyway. Pidge manages to get back to the castle through a network of tunnels and stuff, and when he sees the space mice, he knows he's back in the castle because he saw them when he got there. So he goes back to the control room, and he pretty much passes out. Allura helps him, and then he tries calling the others, makes contact with them. They get back to the castle. And then he pulls this stupid prank. They come in, they don't see him, he's sitting up somewhere, like, not too high up, I don't think, so I don't know why they can't see him, but one of them, Keith, I think, is like, Princess, where's Pidge? Come on, are you messing with us? And then Pidge just jumps down and tackles Keith to the floor and starts laughing. It's like, why do that? Anyway, they have to find the key. The missing key. So they go and search the king's coffin again. And then they see a mouse hole. And the wall is made out of rock, so Paige is talking about the space mice, and I guess they must have super chompers or something. And he figures if they like rock, they might eat the key too. So they find the space mice. And they put them in a cage and interrogate them. They interrogate the mice. And then Allura is like, what are you doing to those poor mice? Stop it. They're my childhood friends. I'm an only child, and I had a lonely childhood growing up in this castle. I hardly ever saw my parents. They were always away on some royal function. So basically we see a flashback of little Allura just lying in her bedroom crying. But the mice came and entertained her. They dressed up in like dresses and they danced for her. Anyway, apparently Allura speaks like the mice's language or something. And she gets them to tell her, we don't hear the mice talk, but she gets them to tell her that they took the mice because they thought it would make a pretty decoration. So the guys are like, tell them we'll free them as long as they bring the key back right away. And it's a deal. So the mice go into their little hole in the wall and they dig through their stuff and they get the key. And then Koran, Allura's assistant, is like, yes, Voltron will rise again, or something like that. But then when it comes time to do it, the pilots are all ready, but Corin's like, no, it's too dangerous, you haven't trained yet. Which makes me wonder how they could have piloted the Lions in the previous episode, although I guess we don't see how much time has passed between episodes 2 and 3. Maybe they got some kind of training somehow. I don't know, but anyway. So Koran doesn't want them to form Voltron, even though he just said Voltron will rise again. But then Allura just overrides him and is like, yeah, go ahead, and they're like, yay! So this is how it works. And I guess I didn't detail it in the previous episode, but they have to go into these vehicles in these, through these chutes, like through these tunnels. Well, first they have to go through a chute, and then they exit the chute and fall into these like little ships or whatever, and then they go through more chutes and tunnels until they arrive at the lines. Yeah. Now here's an error that I just read on the Voltron Wikipedia, is when they emerge from the chutes and are about to land in their ships, there's an error where Allura is shown exiting the tunnel instead of Sven. So apparently they put in footage of Allura piloting being one of the pilots basically a bit too early. That's coming up next, where the next episode is called Princess Joins Up. So, and we're back to the shorter closing credits today, so I'm wondering, the first two episodes, I guess they didn't want to show the pilots with their in their uniforms and with their lions to avoid spoiling the fact that Allura is going to be a pilot. But so they avoided doing that in the first two episodes. But then they showed it in episode 3 in the closing credits before she's even joined the team. So they spoiled it in episode 3. But now in episode 4, they're back to like the short version. Hoping you didn't notice it in episode 3, I guess. But then they have an art error where I keep calling her Princess like it's Battle of the Planets or something, where Allura is shown to be one of the pilots due to an error. So, do they know what they're doing? I don't think they know what they're doing. I don't think they knew what they were doing either. Then again, I think I have a vague memory of years ago reading something that the DVD release of Voltron has been re-edited from the original Japanese versions of the episodes using like the final Voltron versions as a guide, but that they re-edited the footage so that quality could look better, I guess. I think I read that somewhere. I'll have to read up on it to see if it's true. If it's true, it's possible that what I'm watching on DVD is not what kids saw back in the 80s. I don't know. But anyway, they defeat the big monster of the episode. And that's where it leaves off. So next episode, Allura joins the team. So is there anything else to say? Oh yeah, Koran goes into the king's chamber at one point, and he prays, and the king's like, "Why have you awakened my spirit?" It's like his spirit was asleep. Is that the afterlife? It's like they take rest and peace literally, I guess, huh? It's so weird that ghosts are real in this universe, and it's not really made that big of a deal out of. So yeah, I enjoyed this episode. Look forward to watching the next one. And that's it. Thanks for watching.